Connor Christensen with Adventures in Poor Taste, back with another 5 and 5 for the week of April 18th, 2018. A lot of great books this week. Some book has a big milestone coming up, I guess, for DC. I don't know much about it. We'll get into it, I promise. Anyway, let's dive right in with number 5. Kicking off this week is Poe Dameron number 26, written by Charles Soule, with art by Angel Vincente. First off, look at this cover by Phil Noto. Just look at it. It's perfect. It's quintessential Star Wars, and it looks fit for a film. Issue number 25 finally brought Poe Dameron and the Black Squadron up to the events of The Force Awakens. Issue number 26 jumps ahead to right after The Last Jedi ends, and actually shows Finn, Rey, and Poe chilling the Millennium Falcon right after they got their asses kicked in Crate. This is only the second time Star Wars fans have seen this trio together. It's a big deal. In fact, this issue has the most dialogue between Rey and Poe ever. During this groundbreaking scene in which we finally see the trio together once again, Finn asks Poe a question that's been on every Star Wars fan's mind since The Force Awakens. How the flying fuck did Poe survive the crash on Jakku? And even more, how the hell did he get back to the Resistance? This issue fills in the gaps between his crash landing on Jakku and the Battle of Takodana, so it's a must-read for Star Wars fans, even if you didn't like the sequel trilogy. Alright, and at number 2 this week, we've got Infinity Countdown number 2, written by Jerry Dugan, with art by Mike Deodato, Mike Hawthorne, and A.A. Ron Cooter. Yeah, I get it. Marvel swore off events in 2017, promised they weren't going to happen again in 2018. Yet here I sit in my room talking to you guys about yet another Marvel event. But this one actually has a lot of steam behind it. This series hit its stride in the first issue, where Dugan built off the story he had already built in Guardians of the Galaxy, which sadly ended late last year. This issue sees some serious growth for Groot. Literally. He's been returned to his normal size by the cosmic wizard botanist, I guess, aptly named the Gardener. This series should be a real treat for fans of Dugan's work on the Guardians previously, and should boast some pretty awesome character payoff moments and affect the Marvel Universe as a whole. Alright, slotting at number 3 this week, we've got a book that I have been loving since the very first issue. We're talking Punk's Not Dead number 3, written by David Barnett, with art by Martin Simmons. Punk's Not Dead has been chaotically charming, detailing the unusual life of an English 15-year-old named Fergie and the recently attached ghost twin of Sid Vicious. Sid and Fergie hit the road to Wigan Casino to find out just why they're so goddamn inseparable, in an adventure that can only be described as Granarchy in the UK. That's right, folks, we got grannies gone wild. Meanwhile, Department of Extra Usual Affairs agents Dorothy and Asif are hot on their trail, also headed down to the casino to figure out why Sid Vicious is back. Now Dorothy, an elderly woman herself, is no stranger to a little granarchy, so expect some pretty hilarious moments as the two different duos of people interact inside a casino that has gone bonk. At number 4 this week, we've got Tales of Suspense number 104, written by Matthew Rosenberg, with art by Travel Foreman. God, every time I say that, it's such a good name. I think I can speak for all Marvel Comics fans when I say I don't want this series to end. It's been fantastic. This conclusion to the fantastic series pits Bucky and Hawkeye against the Red Room for a literal battle over Natasha Romanoff's soul that will actually decide whether Natasha comes back as a villain or as a hero. If the Red Room succeeds, she's a villain. If they stop the Red Room, she comes back as a hero. It should have some serious effects for the Marvel Universe going forward, and will just be an awesome ending to an already amazing series. At number 1 this week is a pick that I'm sure was a sleeper for a lot of you, that's going to blow your minds that I made number 1. We got Action Comics number 1000, written and drawn by pretty much every DC creator that isn't dead or tied down to an exclusive contract with somebody else. I mean, seriously guys, there are so many legends writing or drawing inside this book. 1000 issues is an absolutely tremendous milestone that just shows how much the Superman and the Man of Steel brand has affected our society and our culture in the last 80 years. Totally worthy of the $8 mega issue that's releasing this Wednesday. You'll read stories from Paul Dini, Patrick Gleason, Tom King, Scott Snyder, Marv Wolfman, Jim Lee, and of course, the man himself, Brian Michael Bendis. DC's been boasting and screaming about Brian Michael Bendis hopping the ship from Marvel over to DC for what feels like an eternity now, and we finally get to see the prolific creator make his debut at DC. It's only a 10-page story, but it's the first of many Superman stories to come from Brian Michael Bendis, so it should be an awesome foray into the world of Superman for him. This commemorative 1000th issue also features a never-before-seen, never-published story by Silver Age Comics legend Curt Swan. Expect an issue bursting at the seams with everything we've come to love about the Man of Steel and truth and justice and the American way and all that good shit. Rock, flag, and eagle, am I right? But seriously, this Superman shit is absolutely wild. I still can't fathom 1,000 issues of one book. That is incredible. Hats off to DC. Really good stuff. Alrighty, and that wraps up this week's top 5 books that you must pick up. Remember to check back to adventuresinpoortaste.com on Wednesday, see what we thought of these books. Go to your LCS and pick them up. And don't forget to rate, subscribe, and review this show and tell your friends about it and say, hey, that kid's a dipshit, or hey, that kid makes some good points, or hey, he wears funky stuff. Last but not least, the NHL playoffs. Go Pens. See you guys next week.